Hello, my name is Savannah Esquivel, and I'm an academic counselor for the University of Illinois at Chicago. I began working for the University of Illinois at Chicago actually when I was completing my master's degree, and I was working for them as a tutor in the humanities and also in Spanish. And after I completed my master's degree, I was promoted to a full-time academic advising position. I deal with my students on a daily basis, and I also deal with them throughout the semester and throughout their entire college career. The majority of my students come from a very diverse inner city background. Many of them are the first in their family to go to college, let alone the first in their family to graduate from high school. And that presents a lot of challenges and a lot of opportunities for my students. They're all very willing, they all want to work incredibly hard, but it's the hoops that comes with academia that I have to help them navigate through. I kind of see myself as a middleman for some of the issues that they may deal with, what with family, roommates, TAs, professors. I'm someone they can talk to professionally with their careers, with their academic progress in mind, and help them maybe pick the right path for them. As an academic counselor, some of my daily duties include charting my students' progress academically throughout the semester. I keep tabs on every single one of my students. I know exactly what their midterm grades are. I know exactly what their grades are on any pop quizzes, on finals, etc. I keep an important file of this along with other personal information so that when my student comes to me, I know exactly where they're at. I know what challenges they're facing with organic chemistry or Western civilization, and I know how to attack those problems and how to present information to them. Some of the most satisfying things about being an academic counselor is having the opportunity to see my students succeed. Like I said, a lot of my students have not had the academic privileges that I was blessed with, getting a BA and then an MA and hopefully maybe someday a PhD. What I need to do is to kind of set that light bulb off, to show them that learning is a lifelong process so that they become contributing members of society. When they graduate from college, it's incredibly rewarding because I've been there with them for the last 4, 5, 6 years. That said, some of the greatest challenges are orienting my students to believe that they can be successful in school, giving them the tools to help them make it through organic chemistry or biostatistics. That said, I feel like if somebody were to look for a career as an academic counselor, they would want to make sure that they had a wide variety of classes, a wide variety of experiences with other individuals in their background, because you really have to be able to empathize with your students. You really have to be able to know where they're coming from, and you really have to be able to be somebody that they can rely on, who can set goals for them and who can really mentor them. I ended up working as an academic counselor, as I already mentioned, because I started with the university as a tutor. However, a lot of my coworkers did not enter this profession this way. Many of them have master's degrees in education or communications, and then they applied for the job knowing that they wanted to work in academics, but they wanted to work on the other side of things. They didn't want to be a professor, for example. However, there are so many jobs that are available in universities that I think a lot of students are unaware of and are worth looking into, and there are a lot of career paths, like in education, communications, library science, that prepare students to work with students in the professional realm. It's an incredibly rewarding job. It has its challenges, but I think if I were to tell somebody to enter the career, to make sure that they know what the challenges are of being a student, to take time to get to know their fellow students while they're in school, to take a wide variety of classes from religion to math so that when their student comes to them with problems, you can understand exactly why differentials are so tricky, because your students want to get to know you. You are a mentor, and you have to approach it that way because you don't know if your students have those at home. In terms of preparation for a career in academic counseling, I received my bachelor's degree in religion, art history, and Spanish, and then a master's in art history as well. But really what matters if you're looking to pursue any degree or any career in academia is wide variety of academic, professional, and personal experiences that can help you overcome some of the issues that your students may be dealing with. You have to be able to empathize with them, to get to know them, to be trustworthy, and to most importantly be a mentor for them. Within the next 10 years, I'm not sure how many academic professional positions there will be. Again, a lot are being cut, especially in academic advising and counseling. That said, I feel like a lot of universities are focusing on retention, and they're also very concerned with getting their students out in a reasonable amount of time, whether that be 4 years or even 3. In order for that to happen, they need people to work with their students one-on-one, to get to know them well, to help them navigate the system. Without academic professionals and advisors, I don't know if students would be able to have the support group that they need to successfully complete a degree in a reasonable amount of time, and to also complete a degree that will be of value to them, that's the right fit for them and for their career goals. I think a lot of students end up pursuing things that they don't want to do, and then they realize that around year 5, and then they spend a couple extra grand staying in college trying to get back on path. My job is to make sure that they're on path from the get-go and that they're really doing psychology if they know what psychology is about, that they're really pursuing business if they really know what business is about. I would absolutely recommend this career for anybody who is interested in academics, who is interested in teaching, in education, and doesn't know quite where to fit themselves yet. It's giving me an amazing perspective on education, learning, life in general, and it's shown me that you don't have to just be a professor to participate in the academic arena. I've always known that I was interested in education. I didn't know till college that I was interested in university education. It's a huge system. It employs hundreds of people who work behind the scenes to help students get through, to make sure that they have accessible resources, that they know how to use those resources, and that they exit the university having had a good experience. It's been incredibly rewarding being an academic counselor, and as I already mentioned, I think it's kind of attuned me to other interests that I may have, which is really what you want a good career to do. It should open more about yourself than you initially thought at the beginning. To wrap things up, a career in academic counseling is incredibly rewarding, but it's also challenging. It challenges you on emotional, mental, intellectual levels that you may not have realized when you were getting a degree yourself. There's so many things that we take for granted in this world that when you're an academic counselor, you realize really shouldn't be taken for granted. As kind of a mentor, a middleman, a liaison for students, I hope that I can help them navigate the university system, graduate in a timely fashion, and pursue a degree that they're really passionate about so that they can have a career they're passionate about and become contributing members of society. I don't sit in an office all day. I work with my students and the university on campus, walking around constantly, telephone calls, Facebook, email. I'm in contact with my students all the time. And I kind of just feel like a mother goose on campus, but at the same time, I'm their best friend. And for me, that's incredibly rewarding. I have so many relationships that have taught me so much about life, about the different walks of life, and I wouldn't give those up for anything.